So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up.
Adopted you like Madonna, adopted kids, and everybody else adopted kids. Charlize Theron, everybody's ever adopted Sandra Bullock.
This isn't even the first time Madonna has been accused, or there has been calls for her to be investigated for child trafficking.
And they somehow figured out how to extract
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this.
When Sean Diddy Combs adopted a young girl under mysterious circumstances, the world barely noticed. But now, questions are rising. Was this really an adoption, or was there something darker behind the scenes?
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up.
And who is this girl? Is she the missing Ava Baldwin? The resemblance is undeniable.
If you compare this Ava to the age progression of Ava Baldwin, it's pretty crazy how much she resembles her.
So, if that's true, why did Diddy choose her, only to later cut her out of his life completely? This might be one of the most unsettling celebrity family secrets to come to light. A mysterious disappearance, a high-profile adoption, and the trauma hidden beneath it all.
And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time.
Let's dive deep into Diddy's shocking relationship with his adopted daughter, Ava Baroni, who allegedly looks similar to a missing girl who vanished without a trace. Rumors hint that Diddy didn't just adopt Ava. He may have used her, kept her in the shadows, and then discarded her when she no longer served his needs.
All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this.
So, why did he take her in? And why did her shocking disappearance come to light shortly after the feds raided his home? The video of Sean Diddy Combs introducing his adopted daughter, Ava Baroni, resurfaced just a day after his two homes were raided for STFing.
Breaking news, the Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed to CNN that federal law enforcement agents have raided properties owned by musician and producer Sean Diddy Combs.
In the clip from 2020 shared on TikTok, Diddy is seen during a live session on Instagram asking Baroni to introduce herself to his followers. "My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio," the girl began, but Diddy interrupted her, asking for her last name. "Ava Combs Baroni," she replied.
Ava Baroni Combs, yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child.
The rap mogul then announced that he had adopted the white child. In the video, Baroni humorously shared that she was on the streets before Papa Combs decided that he was going to be a caring man.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man.
She continued saying that he saw her, picked her up, and invited her to stay with his kids, emphasizing her close bond with Diddy's twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah. While Diddy admitted that Baroni's account of events was a little bit borderline suspect, he asserted that he adopted her similarly to Madonna, Charlize Theron, and Sandra Bullock adopting their children. He explained that he felt she would benefit from having a black parent to support and care for her, mentioning that he received permission from Baroni's mother before proceeding with the adoption.
I adopted you like Madonna, adopted kids, and everybody else adopted kids. Charlize Theron, everybody's ever adopted Sandra Bullock.
At the time, we thought that Diddy was great to do this, right? Because there was a pandemic and children needed all the love they could get. But now people can't stop giving him the side eye for many reasons. Now, the video comes across as just being very weird, and people had a lot to say. It was very weird indeed. But that's not the only big red flag here, because he compared this adoption process to that of Madonna, which is an interesting comparison because people have pointed out how there are some shady parts of Madonna's adoption as well. According to reports, Madonna didn't exactly adopt her black kids the legal way. Unless last year, it was revealed that she was being accused of illegal human trade and exploiting young ones by a charity organization called the Ethiopian World Federation. And some people claim that she tricked the parents into letting her have the kids by promising to give the children a great education in the US and then return their kids, only for her to turn around and adopt them, allegedly. Another weird comparison that Diddy made was with Sandra Bullock. You see, Bullock has in the past revealed that she uses products made from body parts of young people for her skincare.
And they somehow figured out how to extract
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
So what's interesting is that this is what Diddy is basing his adoption on, which says a lot. Even more so, people are wondering why Diddy had mostly his sons in that video and not showing a lot of his daughters. I mean, Ava said that she wanted to play with Diddy's daughters, so why weren't they there? Just his sons. And don't even get me started on how uncomfortable Ava looked in the video. People are now wondering if she was uncomfortable because of the vibe in the room. Apart from Diddy, his sons have faced some concerning charges as well. Justin was named in Lil Rod's lawsuit, and Christian has a whole lawsuit of his own. And this has people guessing, but the biggest red flag here is how she seemed to disappear after that one video. I mean, sure, she was spotted out with Diddy's twins, Jesse and Delilah, a couple of times, but that was really it. She wasn't in any family photos or videos or anything like that. It's like she just disappeared. And considering that Diddy was insisting that she call him Papa Combs, you'd think that he would keep her around longer than 5 seconds. But considering the recent occurrences, the TF-icking allegations, and the allegations of Diddy treating women badly, well, fans are starting to wonder if Diddy might have allegedly done something to Ava, and that's why she's been so silent. Well, this is where we saw Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, step in like top-flight security. And not only did he expose Diddy for allegedly treating Ava horribly, but he claimed that Diddy allegedly used her for clout and then dumped her when he was done. According to Gene, Diddy's plan was for him to score cheap points by adopting a homeless girl that he found on the streets during the pandemic and then loving her like this. Except he didn't actually quite love her like she was his own because it was all for the cameras. Gene also talked about the allegations of Diddy doing something wrong to Ava, and while he didn't exactly come out and spell it out, he hinted at it very, very strongly, saying that everybody in the industry knows that Diddy is that way.
All these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this.
Sadly, he's got a point about how the industry lets people slide with bad stuff. I mean, we've seen it happen time and again with guys like R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, and Jeffrey Epstein. Even Cassie spilled in her own lawsuit that Diddy kept a bunch of yes men around who were all too happy to cover up his sketchy behavior. So when Gene Deal brings this up, it really makes you wonder what's really going on. He even hinted that Diddy might have some not-so-great videos of Ava, if you catch my drift. And supposedly the feds were on the hunt for those kinds of videos.
It was going on the premises of trafficking. They're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage. So now they're gonna go through all those devices. If somebody got any kind of weird fetishes.
Meanwhile, a lot of strange theories have been going around about who Ava Baroni really is. Some people are starting to speculate that she might actually be Ava Grace Baldwin, a young girl who went missing years ago from San Antonio, Texas. This theory has stirred up a lot of curiosity online, with people noticing that Ava Baroni bears a striking resemblance to Ava Baldwin. When you put photos side by side, it's easy to see why people think they might be the same person. They share similar facial features, and they even have the same hair color. Ava Grace Baldwin's story is heartbreaking and mysterious. You see, the last time Ava Grace Baldwin's father, David Hopper, saw her, she was just 6 years old. Ava went missing from her elementary school in September 2015. The school contacted David after Ava hadn't shown up for nearly 3 weeks. When he heard from them, he immediately reported her as missing to the San Antonio police. What they discovered was shocking. When officers went to the address listed for Ava and her mother, Catherine, they found an empty lot. David felt a sense of dread. Something was clearly wrong. David had always wanted to be a good father to Ava after her brief 34-day marriage to Catherine ended. He fought hard for custody, spending over $45,000 and hiring 5 different lawyers. While he struggled for access to his daughter, he learned that Catherine was living a troubled life, moving from shelters to various relationships. One disturbing incident involved Child Protective Services alerting him about a video of Catherine engaging in inappropriate behavior while Ava was in the background. As the situation escalated, Catherine disappeared with Ava, and her car was found abandoned in a San Antonio park 7 months later. Although Ava would be 14 now, David has been granted full custody, but there are still no leads on their whereabouts. He believes Catherine's family might be hiding them, but there's no solid evidence to support this theory.
When we sent the police out there to the location of the last address that we had known from, it turned out to be an empty lot. And that's when we kind of figured, okay, there's something going on here.
Despite the pain of not knowing where Ava is, David remains hopeful. He believes there have been sightings of Ava and Catherine since they vanished. Meanwhile, David continues to post letters to Ava on a dedicated Facebook page, expressing his love and longing for her. He holds on to faith, trusting that one day they will be reunited. Anyway, the situation surrounding Diddy just keeps getting more chaotic and worrying, especially when you consider the many women who have come forward with serious allegations against him for inappropriate conduct dating back to the early 90s. This isn't just a recent trend. It seems like Diddy has been allegedly involved in this kind of behavior for at least 30 years. Talk about a troubling track record. Take Joey Dickerson-Neal, for instance, one of the most recent victims to make shocking accusations against him. She claims that Diddy spiked her drink and assaulted her, which sounds like something straight out of a horror movie. According to her lawsuit, Diddy had been pursuing her for a date, but she was well aware of his shady reputation and wasn't interested. But eventually, she gave in and agreed to go out with him. Unfortunately, that's when things took a terrifying turn. The complaint alleges that Diddy intentionally drugged her, leaving her unable to walk or even stand. After leaving her drink unattended, he allegedly pressured her to take a hit from a blunt. They then drove to a music studio, and when she couldn't exit the car, he took her to where he was staying to assault her. To make matters worse, she claims Diddy recorded the assault and shared it around. Just days later, a friend of hers, Devontae Swing from the 90s R&B group Jodeci, told her he had seen the video with others. Swing reportedly feared for his band's future if he spoke out against Diddy. It's beyond messed up. Another anonymous woman came forward with her own terrifying story. She claimed that Diddy and his friend Aaron Hall got her and her friend completely drunk, then assaulted them. She filed her lawsuit anonymously, revealing that they met at an MCA Records event. What was supposed to be a fun night quickly turned into a nightmare. The two men were charming and friendly at first, but things went downhill after they invited the women to an after-party at Hall's place. Once there, she was coerced into being intimate with Diddy. Afterward, as she lay in bed shocked, Hall barged in and assaulted her as well. Then there's another anonymous accuser who was just 17 when Diddy and his crew allegedly assaulted her at his studio in New York. She claims Harve Pierre, former president of Bad Boy Records, picked her up from Baltimore on Diddy's orders and flew her out on Diddy's private jet. Once at the studio, she says they drugged her and SA'd her. According to her, while this was happening, Diddy even complained he couldn't get off unless she pinched his Really? How low can you go? The shocking accusations don't stop there. 2 more women have recently come forward with similar claims, bringing the total number of lawsuits against Diddy to 7 in less than 6 months. One of these women, Crystal McKinn, claims Diddy plied her with alcohol and possibly drugs during a 2003 encounter and then forced her into a bathroom to perform oral S. When she refused, he allegedly grabbed her and made her comply. Afterward, she lost consciousness and woke up in a taxi, realizing she had been SA'd. The parallels between McKinn's case and that of another anonymous accuser are uncanny. Both women share similar experiences of being lured to Diddy's studio and assaulted. Diddy's alleged behavior seems to follow a disturbing pattern. One more woman, April Lampros, accused Diddy of multiple instances of battery, assault, and emotional distress during the 90s and early 2000s. She claimed to have been interned at Arista Records while Diddy worked there and alleges that he recorded a video of them without her knowledge, showing it to others later. But it's not just ladies that have been enduring Diddy's bad behavior. Young Usher also went through a similar situation as Ava. For context, during an interview on The Howard Stern Show, Usher shared stories from his early days in New York City, including living with Puff Daddy as a teenager and hanging out at Flavor Camp for parties and gatherings. Reportedly, Usher was guided into the world of fame and wealth by Combs, who took on the role of his mentor and had Usher live with him. Usher shared that as a teenager living with Diddy, he was naturally curious about what was happening around him. However, he found that some of the things he discovered were not appropriate for someone his age to be exposed to.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called.
Sean Diddy Combs noticed Usher when he was just 14 years old, and he quickly signed the young talent to Bad Boy Entertainment. However, with that came the new lifestyle that Diddy had been living.
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
However, that lifestyle has had a lasting negative impact on Usher, as he discovered things happening around him as a young artist that he didn't understand at the time.
I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Jumping ahead to the present, Usher opened up about the less glamorous side of his early career in a 2012 interview with Oprah Winfrey. He explained that when he was young, Combs introduced him to wild and crazy parties. Usher has openly discussed that as a teenager, he shouldn't have seen some of the things he did. He revealed that Diddy's lifestyle went against many rules, but it continued in Hollywood, where he and many other young artists were spoiled.
You know, with Puffy in that time, or the tunnel. But these are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not quite ready for.
Usher admitted he felt pressured to do things he wasn't ready for emotionally or mentally. Looking back, he regretted some choices he made back then. But he did what he thought was best at the time, based on what he knew.
However, that's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you gotta chill, like you just a little bit too intense. And I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. You're gonna make me a priority too.
However, Usher wasn't the only one facing this alone. Amidst all the allegations and lawsuits against Diddy, even Usher spoke up. But what's worse is the resurfaced video of Justin Bieber and Diddy. Recently, an old video of him and then underage Justin Bieber circulating online has caused the internet to assume the worst. Many fans were blown away by the unsettling idea that he might have been allegedly doing some really shady stuff with the underage star back then. The circulating video appeared as Homeland Security raided Diddy's mansions in LA and Miami. It shows Sean Love Combs standing next to the young pop star saying, he's having 48 hours with Diddy. Were we hanging out, and what we're doing we can't really disclose.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
He further added,
it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Diddy was even heard talking about Usher in the video. He mentions that although he's not Bieber's legal guardian, he had custody of him for 48 hours because he was signed to Usher. Diddy also claims to have had legal guardianship over Usher, who was also a teenager at the time when he worked on his first album.
I've been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him.
Social media users immediately began to worry about what Diddy's close association with these underage children at the time might imply. Many online users labeled these videos as creepy and disturbing, while others were relieved that the darker side of showbiz was finally being brought to light. Diddy also promised to gift Bieber his white Lamborghini as soon as he turned 16.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this will be yours. It's a little dusty.
However, Bieber didn't seem to take the rapper's generous offer very seriously. Bieber told People magazine, Diddy said when I turn 16, he will give me his Lamborghini. But we all know Diddy's not going to give me his Lamborghini. He's all talk. Even Justin couldn't understand why Diddy was being so generous. He even said he would gift him a mansion when he turned 18. It turns out that Diddy was trying to lure him with expensive things that any kid would desire at Justin's age. After all, it's like being a sugar daddy in exchange for sugar. Fast forward to today, Justin revealed that he had been regularly using drugs and facing the most difficult time of his life. Many fans speculated that it was because Diddy exposed him to an illicit environment during his childhood.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything. And it was just an escape for me.
Even though this has come to light now, and the truth is known to the world through lawsuits, Justin has mostly remained silent, but has hinted at the struggles he faced in coping with the trauma. Many fans speculate that Justin has hinted at the trauma he experienced while being with Diddy as a teenager.
It got scary. I basically said to myself, oh my God, if you're real, you get me through this season.
As fans looked more into Justin's struggles, they found a video where he's standing with Diddy, looking uncomfortable and avoiding eye contact. Many fans saw this body language as a sign that Justin might have been going through trauma he couldn't talk about because of Diddy. Many fans speculated that he stayed quiet because he was just a teenager at the time. But people aren't blind to what might be happening behind the scenes.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
In any case, it seems that Ava Baroni may have seen the red flags surrounding Diddy's behavior and decided to keep her distance for her own safety and well-being. With all the allegations and lawsuits against him, it's definitely a smart move on her part. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.